Don't you want to live in a WOG world? You want to live in WOG world? Is that where you want to be? WOG world? You want to live outside in the WOG world?
Live long and prosper. I am doing this update. I've done it 3 times already and haven't had a way to upload it. I've got internet where I'm at now. And it seems that I'll be staying here, so it's still a little, for me, iffy. Like, in my mind, I'm thinking I may have to pack all my stuff and leave tomorrow. But take it in one day at a time. Carpe diem every day, and that seems to be paying off. The reset button is close at hand, not quite halfway there, but I've got a roommate that will be staying, which will significantly cut my expenses for the guest house that I'm staying in, and I just got a gig teaching the choir leader at a historical black church here in Lake Charles called The Sound. And Otis Redding went to this church. So it's not much money. I gave him a discount even because it's such a great thing to do. So it's $120 a month. And then had a meeting with an old client of mine. Have to get with his, he's an attorney, so you have to go to his accountant and with an invoice and all that stuff, so I have to do the billable hours for that. So next week should have made about $195. Got $100 right now. So yeah, the utilities aren't much here. The internet's not much, and it's a great quality internet after years of horrible internet. And I'm close to my kids, and I've got a way to get to New Orleans for my medical stuff, and I've still got medical stuff that I have to do here. So having a place here close to the kids should be very good. And it should allow me to, the only thing is getting a job. So, but there have been IT jobs popping up in the market here in the last 20 days, which is a good sign, because there's been no hiring for a year almost, and several businesses have closed. So there's some leads there. There's some actual real jobs that would be equivalent, something worth my time. My resume, I'm not gonna be, I'll take what I can get, but the thing is, like, when you work in IT and you work for an unscrupulous IT company, for me, as a business owner and have owned previous businesses, I don't want to put my name on anything that's unscrupulous behavior. And a lot of IT companies, unfortunately, do that. So, or they have a history of doing it, and even though a lot of it's been rooted out, there's still people who do it. So that's the update on that. So this is the 3rd or 4th time I've done it, and this is the one that I'm pretty sure I'm going to upload. I've still got the location for the mini-series that I want to shoot called The Mission, which is an introspective look at life on staff in the day-to-day that you do. But it's got a little twist to it to make it a little more entertaining. We'll see if I can pull it off. I think I can with a couple of other people. I've got an audio crew that's willing to donate their time to work on the project. And the only thing I need is a permit in the city that I'm going to shoot it in. So, assuming that, the roommate, we were able to take care of all of the expenses and everything here, then I should be able to do those projects that I've been wanting to do for a long time. And let me tell you that this whole journey of 15 months after post-op necrotic tissue removal, of which the doctors here really don't know nothing about. When I went to New Orleans, I was able to speak with them in their own language because no one here knew, so I ended up doing the research, and that's kind of how I figured out I needed to go somewhere else because they're not going to help me here. The contraindications suggest that you get a full medical clear checkup, like at a hospital and everything, before you're medically released from the kind of injuries that I had. Torn Achilles from toxic antibiotic poisoning, and then the necrotic tissue and the post-operative recovery and the nerve healing, just all that fun stuff. So, so long as this maintains, this should be good. Now, prior to that, I was staying on couches and hotels and stuff. Didn't really. The hotels was mostly with Brenda when we went to Clearwater. I rented one hotel. Somebody gave me some money to get a hotel room because I've been sleeping on a couch for a while, and it was wasn't a cramped couch, but it was enough, and I was in a lot of pain. And I just needed a good night's sleep in a bed. But I was gone from March 4th to, February 4th to March 12th. So, 37 days. And when I came back here, this is where I ended up in the guest house. And I was so, I used to do this stuff all the time on the road as a musician, but it took me I had the flu when I got back, and it took me about a week and a half to recover from all of the traveling and all of the not sleeping and getting sick, because I stopped taking my medicine for pain, and it's the pain is going to be there regardless. Like, the medicine wasn't helping, so it was just being on a narcotic. So, but I did that for years, so there was some withdrawal, and while I was out, doing. Actually, it was the day we went to Clearwater. So it was that trip was amazing, and Brenda Turing is an amazing person. She literally made a dream of mine come true. In the most unlikely way that I ever thought it was going to be, because I thought I was going to go to Flag and do my L rundown. But what we did was much cooler. So thank you again for like the millionth time, Brenda. And I want to do something with Brenda actually in the future about not cults, but just abuse in general. A little series that I'm going to call Objective Processing. So that's all I'll say for now. Objective processing is a potentially new thing. which will be different and more focused on specific topics and not me just rambling all the time. Of course, that's maybe that may be something that'll never change, but I have a face for radio, just so you know. The Mission series and the book that I'm working on, The Tao of the Father, which is a inspirational book that is my attempt at describing how I was sort of already primed for Scientology, because Scientology in comparison wasn't, by definition, by legal definition, by moral definition, as abusive as what had occurred before. Whether the abuse was perpetrated on myself, or from others to others, or from others to myself. I don't know, or from myself to others. I don't know if I said that. It's not mutually exclusive, is what Brenda said. So abuse is not mutually exclusive, and she's right. And so with objective processing, that's the idea. And what's crazy is that after we talked about it, there were like there's actually two other cult members that I've spoken to, actually three now, that have some very, one of them is a Scientologist, another one was a religious extremist group in the South, and then another one was a Pentecostal church. But similar stories, you know. So objective processing, in other words, talking with other cult members. This is something that, by the way, that psychologists do with groups of people who have PTSD. You know, they do it a lot in the Army and the Marines and the Armed Forces. It's part of what the Veterans Affairs Association spends some money on. Probably not enough, but I haven't looked at the block grants in quite some time. But so I'm finding that that's going to be helpful. There's been there have been a lot more people contacting me and talking to me about, you know, how watching the videos reminds them of some things that happened to them, whether it was Scientology or not. I've had people from other cults talk about it in Scientology, just like I'm sure everyone else who does what I do has, you know. Yeah, that's the update. Almost 2 out of 5 of what I was trying to raise. I gave the if you didn't hear from the first update, I went ahead and gave the tax return to my ex-wife because I've been unemployed for a while, and it helped her buy the car that was sold. It was sold from me and my dad sold her a car, and also it covered the child support, you know, because I haven't been employed and I need to make sure I keep paying my child support. And she also donated me the car that I bought for her when we were separated, after the car that she was driving was totaled. So things are getting much better. I like that it's not, I like that I didn't set up, like, you know, reset 1 out of 10, because I think I'm getting closer to where I need to be. I do still need help, but I do still need help. That's no lie. But at least I am in a situation where I can see my kids on a regular basis. You know, I've had to take them to doctor's appointments and stuff. And it's the holidays, so it's Easter, and I can be with them, and that'll be wonderful. We're doing a glow-in-the-dark Easter egg hunt at a friend's house. And stuff like that is just like, you know, it's priceless. So if I'm living in another city, I will miss out on some of that, and they grow so very fast. So, you know, if there was any such thing as oh God, I feel like Jimmy Swaggart. I'm gonna stop. I got a GoFundMe. If you want to help, it'd be awesome. I'll post that in the link below. And to end it off, we did the interview yesterday, Christopher Crimey and I, for the Come Get Some Extra, and I had a blast with it. We talked for almost 2 hours. I think he's going to split it in 2 parts. That's going to be on tomorrow on Blog Talk Radio, I believe is where it's hosted, in Last FM. Come Get Some Extra. Ex-Scientologist interview with Marcus Lee Sawyer. We talk about a lot of well, we talk about a lot of things that I don't talk about on the channel here, because he has a lot of specific questions. He's actually a pretty good interviewer. So we had a lot of fun doing that. And so if you're on a you know, long drive or something, you want something to listen to that's a little intriguing and cerebral, then check out the interview and some of the others. He actually got a new mic, so he said this is the first interview where his audio quality will be good. And I told him that I will be more than happy to help him, because I've done audio engineering for many years. So I love that he's doing a podcast. I met him in Clearwater along with Brenda, and I'd love to help him in any way I can to improve the quality of the podcast, so that he can have a voice for that sort of thing, and or a platform, however you want to call it. So I'm going to go to New Orleans and pick up my monitor for my computer, because I'm going to be needing it, because I've got some web jobs coming up, not real soon, but I got to get everything set up so that I can work. And I haven't lived here in the guest house is my old house, the house that my ex-wife and I lived in. So it's been quite a while, so I'm going to have to set everything up again. And if I'm doing IT stuff, I generally do a Linux server on the front end of the network, so that takes a little configuration. And then I do pen testing on my own house, which is, as far as I know, it's legal, but which is penetration testing, so to make sure that no one can get into my network and hijack my printer and then start putting files on my computer. You'd be amazed at what people with very little knowledge can do. So that'll take me probably almost all the next week to do, to set up the server and all that. But I will have a monthly income of $120 as of right now. Hoping to get that number up. Where are we at? Almost 20 minutes, yeah. So, highlights. Got to meet Mike Render. Brenda got to meet Mike Render, and Mark and Claire Headley, and Nathan Rich, and there was another girl with them that was at the ranch. I just can't remember her name. She looked pretty shook up. And then Aaron Smith Levin and the SP Dog, Clay, the owner of the Lucky Anchor, and a lot of the locals. It was amazing. The locals were just amazed that there was anything going on downtown. Spoke to an Aussie couple, or Aussie Philly couple, for quite a long time, and that was just, the conversations were great. And I hope to go to another one when there is one. So huge thank you to everybody who over the course of the last 4 years has subscribed and been here for me when you really talking about this stuff, you don't know who to talk to about it. So it's just kind of like you either go to a therapist, which I have, which, by the way, he says this is a good thing, you know, a positive thing to do. But it's therapeutic in itself. So having other people out there that will listen and comment and discuss does greatly help. And there was a person on one of the comments a couple of probably about 2 months ago now, an unregistered YouTube account. I mean, a freshly registered YouTube account, like the account had been created that day, left a comment saying, "I've seen enough, I'm out of here, no more staff for me." And that's the first kind of comment that I ever saw like that was a newly created user, as if he had to get onto a computer and create an account in order to view stuff on YouTube. But depending on where he was, he may have had to do more than that because they filter stuff. So could have been somebody, could have been a Sea Org member, could have been a staff member, could have been a public. The point is that if it was one person and it helped, and even if they're back in, every time you get away, the cognitive dissonance when you come back tends to get worse. So I have faith and I hope, and I guess the word to say would be faith, that over time that person will look inside themselves and realize what they're doing and what they're participating in is destructive to themselves and everyone around them. So Aftermath Foundation is amazing so far in theory and in concept, and I'm pretty sure I know of one person who has benefited, who really has needed it, like really badly. There's been no resource for people to help other than to directly give. So you know, better. Well, I was going to say better late than never. I was going to also say it would have been nice to have the Aftermath Foundation, but it's here now. So like, I sent them an email and I was like, you know, anything you need volunteer work, I'm willing to do. I submitted my resume and all this stuff. So even if it's, you know, someone needs a place to crash, you know, they need to get away, they're hiding out from Scientology, hey, I've got an extra bedroom, you know. So anyways, that's that. That's a wrap.